Hello everyone. I'm going to read you a lovely Christmas story now. My story is Mr. Noisy and the Silent Night. It's by Roger Hargreaves and it's one of the fantastic Mr. Men books, which I know lots of you enjoy. Mr. Quiet is a sensitive fellow. Loud noises make him very nervous. Unfortunately for Mr. Quiet, he lives in a place called Loudland, which is exactly that, loud. And at Christmas time, Loudland is an especially loud place, which means that Mr. Quiet, unlike you or I, does not look forward to Christmas. There he is, Mr. Quiet. Poor Mr. Quiet. At Christmas time, there are all the Christmas card deliveries delivered by the Loudland postman, Mr. Stamp, who is not called Mr. Stamp because of the stamps you put on envelopes, but because he stamps his feet as he delivers the post. Stamp, stamp, stamp up Mr. Quiet's path. Slam would go the letterbox, and then stamp, stamp, stamp back down the path. Every morning for weeks. There were all the jolly Loudland people greeting each other on the street. Happy Christmas to you, and a Happy New Year. They were so loud, it was like being at a football match. And there were carol singers. In Loudland, the carol singers do not just sing, they bellow at the very top of their voices. Poor Mr. Quiet would turn out the lights and hide behind his sofa and pretend he was not at home, but he could still hear them. And to make matters even worse, every year, Mr. Noisy would come to stay. Mr. Noisy lives in a place where they do not like noise, so he likes to go to Loudland for his Christmas holiday, where he can be as loud as he likes, which, as you can imagine, is very loud indeed. On Christmas morning, Mr. Noisy would turn on the radio at full volume and sing along to the Christmas carols. It was so loud it made the teacups rattle in their saucers. You could have heard Mr. Noisy in another country. Then there was Christmas lunch and crackers, Loudland crackers. Bang, bang, like a cannon being fired. And of course, Mr. Noisy eats with his mouth open. Chomp, chomp, chomp through the turkey. Chomp, chomp, chomp through the Christmas pudding. What a racket. Mr. Noisy could not even open his presents quietly. Crackle, 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 crackle went the paper each time he unwrapped one. Poor Mr. Quiet. But that was last Christmas. This Christmas, something different happened. Something magical. It snowed. Now, everyone likes snow. This year, it snowed and snowed until all the roads were deep with snow, right to the top of their hedges, which caused chaos, but not for Mr. Quiet. Things went really well for Mr. Quiet. There was no loud Mr. Stamp. He was stuck at the post office. There were no loud jolly people on the streets. They were all stuck at home. There were no loud carol singers. They got stuck in the snow. The very best thing of all was a phone call from Mr. Noisy saying he wouldn't be able to come to visit. So this year, Mr. Quiet had a very special Christmas. No loud radio, no loud crackers, no loud chomping at dinner, and no loud crackling wrapping paper. The only thing that Mr. Quiet could hear very faintly was the sound of carol singing. Very quiet carol singing. Just the sort of carol singing that Mr. Quiet likes. Who was it? Why, it was Mr. Noisy. I told you could hear him from another country. And what was Mr. Noisy singing? Have a guess. That's right, Silent Night. I hope you enjoyed my story, and I hope that you have a fantastic, happy Christmas and New Year. See you very, very soon. Bye-bye.